What's going on, guys? I'm just going to do an overview of my bag. I'm fairly new at prepping. I've only been prepping for about 6 weeks. I just figured with the whole Trump might be president thing, probably be ready for anything really. So just kind of an overview. I'm kind of set up more for an urban setting, just because I live in Washington. I work downtown Seattle. I figure most of the time, if something's going to happen, I'm going to be bugging out of Seattle. So I figure I'm going to be walking on foot. And I figure for more of a riot, earthquake, possibly a tsunami, more of a national tragedy versus, a zombie apocalypse or getting stuck out in the woods type of situation. I know my bag's missing a few things. I'm getting it. I know I need ponchos. I got my full tang knife on order. It's coming. I saw one guy a couple days ago just say about his digestive system, diarrhea supplements and stuff like that. So stuff like that I'm still definitely considering. If anybody out there has any idea on what I might be missing or might be a good idea, would be great and helpful. So with that, I'm just going to jump into it and get started from the outside and go in. So just easy little multi-tool scissors, blade, file knife, this, that, and the other thing. And then just a little waterproof canteen, for something that you might need that you don't want waterproof. And then I go for my first round of protection. It doesn't look like it's protection. So you turn the safety off, and you got your regular flashlight, right? And then you press the button all the way forward, and that's 110,000 milliamps. So I figure, with the bum problem we're having, coming up on someone like that looks like they're going to be threatening, it's gonna put a shock in you. So and it's multi-purpose. I love the multi-purpose fashion of a lot of things. The more uses you can get on one thing, I think the better and the lighter it makes it. So I got my flashlight and my first round of defense, my taser. So my first little mini bag, pretty simple. I got my gloves. I think that's it for that one. And that's just, if you gotta go climbing through something, you never know when you're going to need gloves, and a lot of people I see carry them, so I figured I might as well have them. So then we go to probably the most packed one. I got extra Ziploc bags for whatever reason. I got the charger for the taser. Now if I'm walking, now figure there's not an EMP. Obviously that's always got to be a consideration these days. I got my little portable charge kit for my phone or whatever else I need, the charge cable for my phone. And I go in, I got my regular Bic. I got my regular Zippo. And then I got another multi-purpose tool. You got your scissors, got your nose clippers, file, this, that, and the other thing. Come on. So I got a lot of redundancy right now because I only have one bag, and I am kind of prepping all together for the family. I know I need to get my family their own bag. So I got a larger pair of clippers. I've got extra razor blades for my razor box cutter. Line of defense, you never know when you have to cut yourself out of a situation. I got just a pretty basic folding knife. It's kind of dull. I just kind of threw it in there because I've had it laying around. It was actually a wedding present from my brother-in-law. So, and then we have another multi-purpose tool. It's got pliers. It's got a little bit bigger blade. It's got the can opener. It's got all that stuff. So, we got our bigger one. This is kind of just a little multi-purpose tool that I've got laying around. You know, it's got a 10 millimeter, a 9 millimeter. You can use it as a pry bar to pry a can open. It's got the 8 millimeter and the 5 millimeter. This is actually just kind of a tool left over from when I used to do RC cars. And it's just been laying around, and I thought, you know, with everybody out there with their little multi-tools that, you know, I already got it, so threw it in there. And then I got, you know, 400 lumen flashlight. You know, it's pretty bright, you know. And then I got a little mini pen light. This one's a little bit darker. Doesn't really show, you know, I gotta check the battery, see if the batteries are any good. Got a Sharpie. Now for fires, I carry a 4-ounce bottle of lighter fluid. There's really no easier way to start a fire than with flame and lighter fluid. You can pretty much make anything happen. And then this is just kind of a kitchen knife I had laying around. I made a little sheath for it, you know, for if you got to cut something up. This is what I got for right now. I'm obviously going to swap it out once I get something better, but you might as well have something in there better than nothing. I got a wad of steel wool, and I got my battery. Now this is different than what most people I know do. They usually use a 9-volt or an AA. Like I said, I used to do RC cars, so I have a bunch of stuff left over. So what I like about this is that I can put a plug in it, and now I can light it up. I can just sit there and stir it, and this is actually 14 volts. So it gets stuff started in a hurry. And the crazy thing about this is it's 14 volts. So it might be a one-time use only, but I can start a car with this. Like, no problem. It will start a car. It'll melt, and you'll have to throw it away, but it will start a car. And then I got zip ties for anything I might need. Might have to zip tie shoes back together. Might have to zip tie myself back together. Who knows? Electrical tape. Just another multi-purpose tool. You know, take sockets out of or spark plugs out. You know, regular Phillips head. And last, another little multi-tool that I have left around. From doing RCs actually. And so I got, you know, the normal hex drive, Phillips, the smaller standard hex drive, a longer Phillips, an extension, a flathead, and when it fits together right, you kind of have to just, it fits together. So, and I think that's it for bag number 2. Now we go back here, obviously, I'm still working on it. It still's got a lot to go. I'm running, I think I'm about 10 pounds right now, so we're still got a lot of weight to add. So, regular road maps for my area, Edmonds, Lakewood, basic Seattle, Washington. You know, this is just to get me off the main roads if I have to, if it's, you know, if there's a bridge out. Like I said, I'm not planning for a zombie apocalypse. I'm betting for a national disaster. So, and then some bungee cords for whatever reason. Some plastic tubing for drinking out of a water bottle. I can rig it in for a camel bag if I have to. I'm still waiting for my camel bag. So this is my if I want to get found thing. So I do have to rob a battery because I don't have enough batteries yet. If I take this battery and plop it in here the right way, this is a tactical laser. So this is a solid green beam for up to 7 miles if it works. Wrong way in the battery. Or is it not going to work at all? It used to work. Well, I don't know what's up with that. Well, that's fail number 1 for me. This is why you gotta double check your shit. Yeah, I don't know. We'll figure out why it won't work later. So let's go down. This is gonna be my med kit area. So I got an old leftover bottle or plastic container. You know, it's got basic gauze, some large gauze wraps. You know, basic. You know, some smaller gauzes, some ibuprofen, some antacid tablets, and then your regular band-aids. And then I like these band-aids because they actually wrap around fingers. And what's the worst to have an injured finger that you can't bandage? And everyone knows that these regular band-aids, just they don't wrap up well. It's got that extra length, so you get like a full wrap all the way around the finger. I really like them. I use them for work a lot. And then the other part of it, I went out and I bought just a basic suture kit. It's, you know, it's got the needles, it's got the locking little forceps or whatever for grabbing the needle. It's got 2 needles, you know, for how cheap it was. You know, I think it was like less than 15 bucks. It's got a couple bandages, you know, if you need to wrap off, you know, shoot your heroin, you wrap off. You know, a couple hypodermic needles, you know, with the needle already attached, so you just got to sew and cut. And some cleaning, you know, some alcohol and all that other stuff. So, and then I got 2 thermal blankets because you never know if you're going to be out 1 night, 2 nights, if it's going to get ripped. So I got 2 global thermal blankets. Just kind of, you know, keep yourself warm if you have to, if you get wet. Some 2-liter water purification tablets. I know it's not the best situation to be in to have to use these, but you know, if you need to purify some water, then you purify some water, and I guess these do pretty good. So, and there's more than enough for me for probably a week. I mean, 1 tablet for 2 liters, and there's 6 in each packet, so there's a few days in there. And then the other thing I have in my med kit, and I don't think I've had anyone else show me that they've got super glue, because as well as super glue works for gluing stuff back together. I mean, if you have to, you can glue clothes back together. You can glue things that need to be glued back together, obviously, but wounds like your fingers, a gash on the thigh, a gash on the end of the wrist, whatever. If you don't got time to pull out the suture kit and stitch it up, or don't want to do it, I mean, this will work fairly well, actually. I've done it before. So that's for my first aid kit. And then we're gonna go up. Heavy socks, obviously, especially now that I'm getting into winter. Heavy socks for sure. And obviously, everybody's common TP. Okay, so we're gonna go back one more. And this is gonna be the last one, and this is the emptiest one, I know. About 25 feet of basic nylon rope. It burns, it lights, you can get me across something if I need to get across. A towel to dry off if I need to. And the other big thing that worries me is either chemical warfare or volcanic ash, or something along those lines where you need something to purify your air, because not a lot of guys think about that. And most guys that do think about it, they just buy a regular dust mask and think that that's good, and it's not. I'm a painter by trade, and I paint cars by trade, so I know all too well about how harsh chemicals can be, especially when you got plants in the area that could rupture and crack and spill hundreds of gallons, if not thousands of gallons of chemicals, you know, into the air, and you got to be able to have a way to purify your air. So I actually just went and got basically what I use at work, just a charcoal canister paint respirator. It's good up to 48 hours. It gives me 2 days. with this. So, you know, it pretty much gives me the advantage over someone in the area that doesn't have a chemical style respirator, because a dust mask isn't going to help you a whole lot if something chemically is wrong with the air versus there's just some ash in the air, this, that, or the other thing. They work really well. I've used them for a number of years, pretty much my entire adult life. I've used one. I'll stand behind it for 48 hours for sure in a chemical situation. So that's pretty much the simplest bug out bag you're gonna find. Any questions, any answers, any tips would be great. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you later.